I keep it real simple. I don't use big words. Even my rhymes, they ain't big words. They like your uncle. Sometimes my uncle sit on the porch or aunt, say 3 words and you get it. I'm that dude.
The beauty of growing up in the Midwest and growing up in Detroit is that you didn't have to pick a side. Like, it's just as much East Coast rap that influenced us as West Coast rap. Same thing with Southern rap. So we didn't have to pick a region. You know, it was definitely some people that felt stronger about one side than the other side. But
right.
That's why somebody like Cube could easily, you know, kind of be successful. You mentioned that you talked to him. Look, Cube ready for the revolution. I don't know if people know this. Like, he ready right now because you know, he's always been politically minded, but he seems to be very focused on change, his contract with Black America.
Right.
Yeah, really, you know, kind of getting out there. It's kind of when you look across the hip hop landscape, it feels like the same voices that carried it 20, 30 years ago, still carrying it now. And I don't want to be one of these people that's harder on the current generation, but that same political interest and need to revolutionize, like that same need, just, am I tripping by thinking it's like it's not there now? Not with the current stage of hip hop.
It is there, but it's scattered all over the place. It's scattered in the feeling. You know, back then music was what you heard, and then you saw it later, maybe in a video or the box or whatever. Today it's sight, sound, story, and style. It's coming all different directions. So there's a lot of things that people are feeling at the same time. They express themselves differently. They express themselves through social media. They might express themselves with something that they can't text, type, or even portray in a visual. So you got to be able to be, as an old head, to be able to detect that and then be able to guide that. Because at the end of the day, we as an old guard going to be moving up and out anyway. And they got to be moving up. And you can't use youth. Is the youth, it ain't no excuse. And no matter what you do. If I'm talking to a 17-year-old, right, I'm putting the leadership on them, saying, okay, you at least got to look at people your age group and under to say that you can't use youth as an excuse, because if you're 17, they 13, you can't come up and say you young. You older than them. So you could always weigh people against what they say by saying you could always say something. But youth, I tell them all the time, no matter who it is, yeah, you older than some and you younger than many. So what's that got to do? You still got to figure out how to do what you got to do. End of the day, end of story. So we, you know, people coming into their 50s, coming into their 40s, coming into their 60s, like I just did, you know, you look around and you say, listen, I know I got to live up to that age. I got to age up. And that doesn't mean you can't have no fun or have a ball or whatever. But right now, when Cubans talk about a contract on the United States, Black America contract, it's like we just can't be played for the okie doke. We've been saying this. It has to keep on being said. It's not a time where there's not a time to take off. You know, when President Obama was elected in 2008, to me, it was one of these was going on in my head. This is an hourglass. Obama, right? The sands were always ticking to me. I didn't vote for him thinking he gonna be Jesus or Messiah. It means like you bought some time, and you got to get it moving. Meaning you got to start convincing people around you that's a collective that gets some things done, and don't be a beach. You know what a beach is? A beach is just something that just sit there that erodes, waiting for shit to wave and wash up on its shore. Got to get active. Something, at least in your local. So to be able to convey things in simple terms, a lot of people got this misnomer about me thinking, oh, Chuck D deep, he coming like. Nope, I keep it real simple. I don't use big words. Even my rhymes, they ain't big words. They like your uncle. Sometimes my uncle sit on the porch or aunt, say 3 words and you get it. I'm that dude.
Right.
I'm that dude, for real.
So what do you think? You know, you made me think of something that has been interesting to watch, and sometimes it's been uncomfortable too. Like hip hop, for the first time, has multi-generational fans.
Yeah.
What place has that put hip hop in? Because you have people my age where you were the group that my age group listened to. You have rappers like yourself. You know, Jay-Z's 50. You know, Nas is knocking on 50. Like. So there's a generation gap even among hip hop. What does that feel like for you as an artist who has produce and put out music for multiple generations?
When I first started, man, I was old. I was 27 at my first record in '87. So already you have people like LL and them, they were 19 and 18 then. So I already knew with me and my peers that we already had an age difference. If it wasn't that I was approached and asked and begged to do records, I consistently didn't want to go there because of the age difference. I wanted to be behind the scenes, but couple of people convinced me that this could be good and open up different areas and avenues and really build hip hop to be respectable. And we wanted to make sure that it was a respectable music to go around the world, to be competitive in what we had to say, or get things that R&B wasn't saying, or say things that the rock world never even gave a damn about saying, and be able to, because we use a lot of words in rap, so do something with the damn words. And you know what I'm saying? It's one thing if you with you mumbling. It's no, art is art. So I ain't gonna come on the mumble cats. But I'm just saying that if it behooves you to have words if you're gonna spit and rap. Kool Moe Dee taught us that. So, in the beginning, early rappers, man, they all came with a vocabulary. If you got no vocabulary, you can't spit. Or you could come, if you're gonna hum and do all that, then you should go into singing. So because we had a large use of words, do something with the words, I make a lot of sports analogies because cats that might be all caught up in sports, I wanted to be a sportscaster. So I tell people, all right, having a lot of words, it's like if you use like rhymes, like what a like rhyme is, Jemele, like, yeah,
what is it?
A like rhyme is like Thomas Edison, discovered the light, you using a lot of like rhymes. If you go like rhymes too much in a rhyme, that's like having no left hand. If you, it's like he can't go to his left. He using too many like rhymes, man. So I mean, in performances and all this stuff, you have battle rappers. It's like, yeah, but they not going here. They cursing too much. You're using the same word all the time. It behooves you to have a flexible, ambidextrous vocabulary. And then also sometimes keeping it very simple. Turn around, pivot, dunk. You don't need to do nothing fancy. So the vernacular that you use helps you break things across. And that's a gift that a lot of the old school guys had. And it got further matured in the 90s when people like Nas and Jay-Z came out of that. It comes out of what guys like Cube, Tretch with them were doing in the 90s, Latifah, cats is great with words and great with voices. So what it does to me, I've looked at all this stuff across a 40, 50-year span, and I think it's fantastic. When we use it right, it even more fantastic.
Could you ever have imagined, or did you envision the day where hip hop would be the most listened to genre of music in the world?
Yeah, that's what made me say I'm going to do it, because I wanted to challenge the rock, the rock boys. Run DMC, when they did Walk This Way with Aerosmith, they helped bring Aerosmith back into the frame of being relevant and hip and all that. And for a while, we were playing the same arenas that the NBA guys were playing for a long time. So we was taking it to that. We was taking it to the arena. I tried to cave in every arena I stepped into. I tried to bring the ceiling down. So that was my goal, to pump me up on the stage. So we knew we were bringing the noise like the rock guys anyway. We wasn't really tender about it. So it was like what rock guys were doing, we were doing in rap. It was male oriented, largely testosterone flying all over the place. But then thank God we had the Salt and Peppers, the Lights, the Latifah, the Bahamadia, later on the Rod Diggers that kind of really said, okay, we could play this thing too. So that's what really made it a lot of fun. The JJ Fads, they balance it out because, you're using words to get across ideas that are not going to be covered in the society with as much words, if your educational system ain't breaking nothing down for you. And then you have the parenting communication, acknowledging the gap, then those records for a period of time came in to fill those voids up. And it was cool being a part of it. But, like Jemele, knowledge is power, but it ain't.
Why you say that?
Because if you don't use it, what good is it? Or you keep it to yourself. What the fuck
right.
is that? What's that about? yeah, I got it up here. So you got it up there, but you can't bring it down here. So what good is that?